Wet n Wild came out with so much stuff this year for the new core line, didn't they? And we're making pretty good headway through all of the items. And soon enough, we'll be through them. And I want to do some different comparisons, and I hope that I do actually end up getting to those. But what we have here for this episode is the lip foils from the Chameleon Chrome line. And they came out with two shades for the 2025 core line, and that's when they originally dropped the Chameleon Chrome part of their overall product line. And then in the Halloween, the Fantasy Makers for 2025, they gave us two limited edition shades. And now here in 2026 in the permanent line, they have expanded it and added more shades. So they have added, let's see, we had the two original. So then we added on the peachy color, the red color, kind of like the oil slick. So we added three more colors. Or no, excuse me, we had the purpley color. I'm looking at the oily slick one, which is the original in my photo, which is next to the purpley one. But yes, we added three new shades, or they added three new shades. We have a total of five. I definitely have thoughts on them, and then also in my mind, I'm able to think about the Halloween ones and the evolution of this product line, if you will. So today I'm going to talk all about the lip foils, the swatches, the wear test, what happened with these, what do I think about them. Sometimes when I see people wear these on social media, I think like, wow, that looks so nice on them. I can't even believe they're wearing the lip foil. It looks so different on them than it does on me. I feel sort of like when I wear them, these are more for like a festival or a costumey kind of look that I just kind of can't pull them off. But here we are. We will start with the at a glance, the summary of what you're going to hear today. So these are a full coverage lip gloss like product with a chrome color shift. There are now 5 permanent shades and they are priced at $6. The formula is non-sticky and they come in a round tube with a triangular applicator. And they are sold at all the major retailers that carry Wet n Wild. However, Walmart is the only retailer right now that has all of the shades. They have the new permanent releases. The other retailers have not gotten them, and probably over the course of this year they will, because it seems like a lot of the stragglers are just now getting the original shades. But either way, I have all 5 shades, and per usual, I have tested them down to the details. I have the swatches and all of the things. So I will begin this exploration with the details, the claims, the pricing. So again, the Wet n Wild Chameleon Chrome Lip Foil is a multi-dimensional lip color, and it is designed to create a shifting, light reflective finish on your lips. So this first launched in 2025 with 2 shades, and then we expanded the shade range here in 2026 with 3 additional colors, and that's where we get the total of 5. So per Wet n Wild, their directions say to apply the product directly to your lips starting at the center and blending outward for even coverage, and then allow the formula to set briefly. So the application gives you that transformative shine and multi-dimensional effect, right? And Wet n Wild also says that this formula contains light reflecting pigments that change the appearance, or they change in appearance, right, depending on the lighting, movement, angles, that sort of thing. So this product is pretty well described from them as more than just a standard lip color, because they're promising a bold chrome effect that is designed to give you a statement look, and that's what I was alluding to. It is quite the statement, and I don't really know how well I like them on me personally on a day-to-day basis. And Wet n Wild also highlights several things when you're reading their claims. So they're really big on bold transformation, and that would refer to how the pigments are designed to change as light shifts. They also call out statement making shine, and that would come down to the reflective finish. And finally, a smooth and non-sticky formula, and that would be describing the texture and that it should be easy to glide onto the lips, right, and give you the full coverage. So I broke down the shades by year. So the original 2 are Celestial Dance and Halo's Way. And the new ones are Heatwave Star, Moonshift Bloom, and Purple Matter. And again, prices vary per retailer by a couple pennies, but They round up to $6. So with that being said, here's the summary. The Wet n Wild Chameleon Chrome Lip Foils offer a bold, multidimensional metallic finish with 5 shades priced around $6 each. Originally launched in 2025 with 2 shades, the collection expanded in 2026 to 3 additional colors, and that's why we are here doing a separate standalone blog post and podcast and so on and so forth. Now we have this very substantial line of lippies, right? The formula is smooth, non-sticky, and it is designed to glide on for full multidimensional coverage. Apply from the center of the lips outward and allow the metallic pigments to set for maximum shine. And again, on where to buy these. So they are available at several major retailers, but that availability is going to vary. So you have Wet n Wild at $5.99, Walmart at $5.97, CVS at $6.99, Target $5.99, Amazon $5.97, and Walgreens $5.99. And all of those retailers, pretty well, have 2 shades. And those 2 shades are the original 2 from 2025, right? Even Wet n Wild, and I think that's crazy. They did their, 2026 new product drop on their website, and it's not all of the products per usual, So as of right now, if you're in store for these things, you're probably only going to see the original launch shades. Walmart is going to be the retailer carrying all 5 shades. However, you probably need to get those online. I have not seen them in stores, or my store is just lacking. But I have only been in a Walmart twice this year. So take that also for what you will, but I was there in the month of March. So then you have your other retailers, again, CVS, Target, Amazon, Walgreens. They only have those 2 original shades. And what do you know, CVS always has the higher price than everybody else, putting them at $7, right? So you may have to do some looking around to get what you want. But summary, available at major retailers, Walmart, CVS, Target, Amazon, Walgreens, Wet n Wild's website. Walmart is your place for all of the shades. The price will range from $5.97 to $6.99, and I recommend that you check multiple sources, okay? I'll now move on to the ingredients, and as you can imagine, you're going to get a mixture here of emollients, pigments, oils, and stabilizing agents, and this is how they're going to deliver those claims to you of a reflective chrome finish and smooth texture. And in the blog post itself, I have all of the ingredients listed, but let's go through the key call outs, right? This is what's going to affect the feel and the performance and overall look of the product. So of course you have emollients, and that's going to help that product glide and slide across your lips. There's polybutene, and you'll see that in a lot of these glossy types of products, because that's what it does. It creates gloss and allows pigments to adhere to the lips. There's also silicas in the formula, and that's where you get that nice smooth texture but stability in the reflective finish. And there's a bunch of different oils in here, and that's going to be for conditioning. So you have jojoba seed oil, sunflower seed oil, safflower seed oil, and soybean lip oil. So we're going to put those in a lip product to prevent the product from drying out the lips and to provide some moisturization. And I can tell you, these don't dry the lips out, but when they come off, your lips don't feel like they were conditioned, or they don't feel any particular way, okay? And then the additional ingredients are glycerin and vitamin E, and those are seen as antioxidants and humectants. And there are also several botanical extracts. And then where all of that color and those shimmer effects come from are things like aluminum powder, titanium dioxide, and then just the various colors, like there's red 28 and different shades in there. So summary of the ingredients: the key ingredients include emollients for smooth application, and several oils like jojoba oil, sunflower seed oil, safflower seed oil, and soybean oil, and that's where you get the hydration from the product. Silicas will give you a nice texture and support the reflective metallic finish. Vitamin E and botanical extracts provide antioxidant and moisturizing benefits, and the color shift comes from the aluminum powders, titanium dioxide, and the various colored pigments added in there. Next up are the swatches, and I do have that picture. If you are reading along in the blog post, you can see them all on my arm, bare skin, fair skin, my usual photography lighting, right? So this line has a range of high impact multidimensional colors that will shift depending on the lighting and the angle, and you can see in the swatches this intense pigmentation and the reflective foiled like finish. So each of the shades give you something different, a unique metallic range, and they start at a pretty like softer, nothing here's really soft per se, but more of like that iridescent kind of peachy glow, and there's a pinky one, and then we get some moody darker colors as well. So it's quite an interesting collection of shades without going, well, here's a blue or here's a green, right? So to break down these shades, you have Celestial Dance, and this is your darker taupe base that has greeny, violet, purpley shifts to it. So it's very bold and edgy. I would say the edgiest here, unless you want to count the bright purple, but to each their own. You have Halo's Way, and that is your vibrant, cool tone pink, and it has lots of silver, maybe even gold. It's kind of hard to tell, micro shimmers in it. Heatwave Star, this is my favorite. So this is a coppery red bronze, and it has a metallic red orangey kind of color shift to it. I just love that for wearing it with red clothes, right? Moonshift Bloom is a peachy pink with lots of gold micro shimmers. And then finally you have Purple Matter, and that is your boom, striking violet, electric violet, and its color shifts to some bright blue and fuchsia. It is very vivid, right? So you can see with these swatches that they really create that dynamic kind of holographic color experience on the skin, but they do go on really smooth. Basically, they go on like a lip gloss, right? But in doing that, those metallic particles are getting spread evenly across the lips, and then you get that chrome effect. And you can also go through the blog post and see all of these different shades on my lips. I do enjoy Heatwave Star for sure. And then I would say after that, what else did I really enjoy? Moonshift Bloom, it is, pretty peachy gold, but I thought that looked nice. Maybe a third favorite, Halo's Way. Still not something that I reach for all that much, but summary of the swatches and the shades. The 5 shades offer a range of metallic effects from soft iridescent glows to deep moody chromes, and Celestial Dance and Heatwave Star are your darker shades with more dramatic chrome shifts, while Moonshift Bloom and Halo's Way are lighter and easier to wear. The pigments reflect light to create a dynamic multidimensional finish, and the smooth formula ensures metallic particles are evenly distributed for a seamless effect. Now for the main event, my review. So my review is focusing on how this formula performs in my everyday. I put it on and I'm talking on meetings all day, and I'm drinking and I'm eating and doing all the things, right? So I want to see how these do, and not just for a festival or a one-time use sort of thing. So I'll start with the texture. These are like a thicker lip gloss, and I don't say that in a bad way. They're not heavy, they're not sticky. It's important to say that because some metallic lip products are rather uncomfortable. So this is going to sit well on your lips and not dry you out even after several hours of wear. They're really easy to apply because of that triangular shaped applicator. So I have a pretty easy time of going around my lips. Even if I'm not going to use lip liner. I don't use lip liners anymore when I'm testing a lip color, so you can see it as it comes. So it's pretty easy to work with, right? And also sometimes with metallic formulas, especially the darker ones, it's easier to kind of make a mistake and go outside the lines. And I don't find myself doing any cleanup after I do these. Is my application perfect? Oh, by no means. But in terms of appearance, the finish is, I would say it's shiny, but it focuses more on being metallic than something glassy, right? So Moonshift Bloom, if you want to use that as an example, is going to give you a kiss of pink with a strong golden peachy metallic, and that together is going to give you a multidimensional effect instead of just being like a traditional juicy lip gloss. But the color shift is definitely there, and in certain lighting, it's very pretty. It is eye-catching. When I think about performance, I'm thinking about I drink water all day through a cup with a straw, right? And I eat, and I will try to eat carefully with a fork and so on and so forth. But you know, with a glossy product that does not dry down, it is not intended to be long wearing. It's going to transfer. But what I noticed about this is, while the more glossy part of it absolutely wears off by the end of the day, it's leaving a good deal of pigment behind and not like a stain. But at the end of the day, I can look in the mirror. Like one day I tested these, you know, I was eating noodles and so on and so forth. I could still see a lot of the color on the lips with the shine being gone, but it's not a stain either. So I thought that was pretty impressive. It's not like they wear off and they just look patchy or weird. And with that being said, if you wanted to reapply, it will look fine and it won't get heavy and all sticky and gunky either, right? So in terms of how I would rate these, I would say 9 out of 10 for comfort, basically no stickiness, 1 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for the metallic impact, 7 out of 10 for the color shift visibility, and 6 out of 10 for the longevity after eating and drinking. One big thing that I've noticed with these, I guess in testing them for the past year, right, is certain shades feather and others don't. And it seems to be the darker colors feather really bad, the lighter shades don't. And I'm saying even if you put on a lip liner and do all that you're supposed to do, they literally bleed outside of the lip line. And I had also noticed that with the Fantasy Makers ones too, those were lighter in color and they didn't feather. So I ended up putting this down into a table. I thought that was the best way to basically explain which ones feather and bleed and which ones don't. So Moonshift Bloom, no. Heatwave Star, yes, but I still like the color. Purple Matter, no. Halo's Way, no. And Celestial Dance, yes. And what I noticed about Celestial Dance is it bleeds pretty quickly. It's just like one coat, one application. The bleeding usually happens with the other shades when I reapply them, but not always. So Celestial Dance is more consistent in that only one application makes it go outside the lip line. The others, it could be one, but it's more so the reapplication, right? So what do you do when you even put on a lip liner and all, and you have a full face of makeup? I really don't know how else to stop that from doing that, and I personally don't like that look. Maybe people won't notice that. They're not looking that close at you, but I am just calling it out. Other than that, I'm also thinking about the finish, and it is bold. It's dramatic. It's reflective. And that's where I'm saying I think it makes it very fun for a certain kind of makeup look. I just see these as more well-suited for costume style, festival, statement looks over something that I'm going to reach for on typical day-to-day basis. But that doesn't mean that Heatwave Star is not my favorite shade. And I wore it with a red plaid shirt that day, and I was just loving it, right? So compared to other metallic glosses, what is going to set this formula apart, especially at the drugstore, I personally don't know of other metallic glosses like this at the drugstore. I can't possibly know everything. But, you know, they have a strong chrome effect combined with a comfortable texture, and you don't have to worry about your lips getting dried out. These are going to stay very smooth and wearable, right? So if you want to see how the shades perform together and how they look with like the lip liners, oh my gosh, the eyeliners, all those different things going on, I do have a blog post that is on the overall Chameleon Chrome collection. It doesn't have this year's products in it, but bear with me. That's something that I would like to revamp, okay? And if you enjoy maybe coordinating the lip with the eye, which would be really, really fun with these, I would also take a look at my liquid eyeliner review. Those came out this year. But otherwise, you know, it's a unique lip formula at a really good price from a quality brand. You get that multidimensional shine, comfortable texture, and that's going to make it a standout at the drugstore, even if it's a super bold finish. And you're only going to wear it when you want a high impact look. It's still really neat. So what I did is I gathered up all the key details you might want to know when you're considering shopping for and buying this product, and I put them into a table, and that is here in the blog post, so I will leave that for you. But anyway, there to summarize my review, This is a thicker gloss texture and it's comfortable. It's not heavy or sticky. The precise applicator will allow for clean and controlled application, but who the heck cares? It's going to bleed outside the lip lines if it's a darker color. Anyways, metallic finish is dramatic and reflective. It is best for bold or costume style looks. The darker shades can feather, lighter shades are easier for everyday wear, and the formula outperforms many other drugstore metallic glosses in terms of the comfort and multi-dimensional shine. And a bit more on my wear test and eating the noodles and such. So again, I focus on how do these hold up in an ordinary day in one's life? How much color and metallic finish remains? So as again with any gloss-based product, it's going to transfer, especially when you're eating and drinking. But again, a lot of the actual like metallic properties, the color, will hang around for several hours on the lips. So basically, the gloss is disappearing, but the base color is gripping onto the lips, right? So I ate noodles, I was drinking different things. I probably even had a cup of tea that day, a hot cup of tea for all I know, because I've been drinking that a lot, right? But throughout those activities, I did not note that the product just 100% disappeared. So comfort is, of course, very important with the lippy. I hate crusty, dry lips. So these are non-drying, and the thicker gloss is not sticky over time. It's not gumming up and holding my lips together in the center, you know what I mean. So they feel smooth even after several hours of wear, and you shouldn't be afraid to reapply them. So ultimately, they do behave like a lip gloss, right? But because some of that pigment is able to stay behind, they're in a way longer lasting than a regular lip gloss. Summary of my wear test: the formula behaves like a gloss that retains metallic color after eating or drinking. The lips remain comfortable and hydrated throughout the day. Lighter shades show minimal feathering. Darker shades may bleed outside the lip line, and shine fades over time, but the metallic pigments remain visible. And how the heck do you apply these? Why is Wet n Wild in the claims saying start at the center of the lip and go outward? And I think sometimes it's just a lot of fancy language, right? But still, it's important, talk about it so you get the type of lip that you are looking for. So apply it directly to your lips at the beginning and blending outwards towards the corner. And they want you to just wait a minute or two to have the product kind of settle into the lips, and they say that helps the metallic properties, whatever. But the applicator is designed really well for precision, and it's going to make it easy to control how much product you're putting on and how you're defining the shape of your lips. So for darker shades, knowing that they feather and bleed, you can try a liner. I'm telling you, it's still going to happen anyways. So again, after application, allow the formula to set briefly, because they say this pause is going to let the metallic pigments fully reveal their reflective, multidimensional shine. So basically, don't go rubbing your lips together, right? For the best results, you can try, building up the color in layers. They're really intense off the bat, so layering it is not essentially something that you need to do, right? Lighter shades tend to apply smoothly and are less prone to feathering, while darker shades are going to give you that bolder look, but they're going to bleed, okay? Following these steps, though, will ensure that your lips will show full statement-making shine of the lip foil while keeping your overall look neat. So summary of how to apply them: you want to start from the center and work outward for even coverage and maximum color shift. Allow a brief settling period to reveal the full multidimensional shine. Use lighter shades for easier daily wear and darker shades for bold statement looks. And you can try layering and building and see what that does for you. That's also going to contribute more to the feathering too. But overall, I rated these a 4 out of 5 stars, just thinking about the practicality for every day and also the bleeding aspect, right? So pros and cons. The pros are these are bold multidimensional shine, or they have a bold multidimensional shine that shifts with the light for a unique lip look. They are comfortable, non-sticky, they don't dry out the lips. There is a precision applicator for controlled and even application. The lighter shades stay within the lip line and are easy to wear daily. And the metallic finish remains visible even after eating and drinking. And with the wide shade range, you have some more options with these 2026 editions. The cons, the darker shades can feather or bleed outside the lip line, even with a lip liner. This will transfer like a gloss, so some touch-ups might be required. Bold, dramatic finish may not be ideal for an everyday look, definitely not for a subtle look or a no makeup look, right? Some shades like Celestial Dance bleed with just one layer, one application. And now we have the frequently asked questions. Is the Wet n Wild Chameleon Chrome Lip Foil good for sensitive skin? It's non-sticky, it doesn't dry out the lips, but they don't make any claims about skin sensitivity. So as always, read the ingredients list and do what is best for you. And, patch test them, spot test them. Is Wet n Wild Chameleon Chrome Lip Foil sticky? No. So this product is a thicker gloss, but it is very comfortable on the lips. How long does it last? It behaves like a gloss and will transfer with eating or drinking, but a significant amount of color and metallic finish will remain throughout the day. Does it transfer while eating or drinking? Yes, some transfer is going to occur, but a lot of that metallic pigment, the base color, will try to hang around on the lips. Do the lip foils feather or bleed into lip lines? Yes, primarily with your darker shades, so that would be your Heat Wave Star and Celestial Dance. The lighter shades like Moonshift Bloom, Purple Matter, Halo's Way are fine. And is it sheer or full coverage? Or definitely full coverage, multidimensional, very metallic, and reflective. So that's it. So overall, again, I don't see myself reaching for these very often. And if I'm gonna reach for one again, it's probably going to be Heat Wave Star. I just think they're best reserved for making a statement. And it is what it is. So if you're going to be buying these, I'd like to know, and tell me what your favorite shade is and what the heck you're using these for. Maybe you do wear them every day. Totally up to you. But that is it. Woohoo. Okay, so what should we do next time? Maybe it's time to go over the new collection that you're not hearing much about. I went through all the products, and I have a lot of opinions. I am really, I don't want to say, rake Wet n Wild through the coals, but I got some things that I got to say, and it's not even about plastic applicators or tiny applicators this time. I have a lot of thoughts and a lot of experiences that I'm worked up about. So that's your little teaser for the next Wet n Wild episode. We're going to go through the brand new little limited edition collection. So until then, I guess, hold on to the edge of your chair and be waiting for that. And I will see you then.